was up late before the night of my enduro training because I had to prepare my gears and I also had to prepare myself. And I woke up at 5:30 a.m. and only got 5 hours of sleep. Can you imagine that? I had to train in the morning, I had to be in the sun, I had to sweat. And when I woke up, I took a quick shower and also had a little bit of coffee and put on some casual clothes. Kasi for this enduro training, I was picked up. I didn't ride my bike, so grabe, napakalaking convenience kasi tama lang yung choice na yun kasi I'm pretty sure after that training, I was just tired. We arrived at Enduro Factory in Vermosa at 8 a.m. and when we got off the car, the weather was so nice. It was a little bit cloudy and buti na lang hindi masyadong umulan kasi I felt like it was going to be hard to train on that. And the sun, it doesn't hurt the skin kasi it was a little bit early. And grabe, may mga kids doon and the bikes were parked and meron mga bikes doon na for the adults, which was the 150cc's and up, and also the adventure bikes, and there were also enduro bikes for kids, like the 50cc's that are so little. I was actually amazed kasi nung dumating kami doon, the girl was already riding around the flat track. And by the way, yung flat track niya, hindi yung flat track na talagang flat. Meron siyang iniikutan sa loob ng EF. Tapos, naka 2-stroke pa siya na bike. And I just want to say thank you for Ride Manila for my gears. I actually shot the gears first. Like kung ano yung gloves na gamit ko, what's the helmet that I used, and even kung ano yung jersey ko and my pants, and most especially my enduro boots. I actually just want to mention that my boots are from CD and they're carried by Ride Manila. So, did you know that it's really crucial to have good boots when you go on enduro? Kasi that boot helps align your bones perfectly na straight siya. So, even if you land, even if you crash, it's gonna lessen the chances that you will get a sprain. And at the same time, if tumama ka sa bike, it's just gonna deflect it away. And the boots are really hard. And because the harder it is, the more easier it is to maneuver the enduro bike. Hindi ko pa nami-meet yung coach, but the plan is I will be trained under a course outline kung ano yung pang beginner, ano yung mga kailangan ko munang i-unlock before I go to the next step. And grabe, hindi ko akalain na upon the diagnosis of my skills, I'm not yet for the advanced riding. Kasi I've already tried this before, but I realized how much more I needed to learn.
Around our flat track, which will be...
Before we rode the bikes, the coach actually placed a bike in front of us na nakapark, and he wanted us to show him kung paano nga ba yung mga body positioning namin when we're braking, accelerating, and when we're standing. And then he gave us a few tips and tricks and what's the proper way to do it before we actually go through the practical test on the flat track. Going back to the body positioning pagdating sa pag-i-enduro, alam niyo ba na kailangan when you're sitting down, di ba naka-eye level ka or hindi ka masyadong aangat? Because ang proper na pagtayo is you're gonna be moving your hips. You're gonna be moving your hips backward para all of the tension will not go on your hands but it's gonna go on your back. Kasi di ba, the shocks is gonna move, so you're gonna use your body to absorb the shock. There was actually a correction with the way that I was braking kasi I put my body slightly backward when I brake. But did you know it's wrong? Kasi if I do that on an enduro bike, it's gonna make the bike wheelie.
Okay, turns. And then, ano tayo? Hills. So, papasok tayo sa loob. We're going up and down. Okay. Tara,
Let's go. Let's go. And now it's time to ride. So we're gonna go on the flat track to check if tama nga ba talaga yung mga body positioning namin. When we were going around the flat track, the coach actually noticed some incorrect ways I was sitting on the bike. So he had to correct na I should move my body a little bit forward on the bike, and also the way na I was using my hips to maneuver the bike. So ang unang warm-up namin is to go around. So ng first gear and then to second. And kung paano nga ba yung tamang pag-turn. And usually kasi, when you're riding an enduro bike, hindi pwedeng yung buong puwet mo nakaupo. So you had to move like maybe slightly to the right para mas countered yung weight. And then when you're gonna raise your feet, hindi siya pwedeng nakabuka. So you have to move your feet na medyo paharap. And you have to point it inwards with the bike. And the reason for that is you're maintaining the bike to be much more stable. Kasi if you're gonna move it away from the bike, the more air there is and mas lalo kang magiging unstable when you take your turns. And kita nyo dito, I also mounted my Insta360 going around. So nakikita nyo yan, na medyo pinapagalitan na ako. The coach is teaching me how to properly turn, where to put my feet. Alam nyo ba, natutuwa ako kasi I didn't know na when you're standing on an enduro bike, you literally have to move your hips to the right and to the left. Like, hindi lang siya yung right na slide. Hindi, it's gonna be like, na ira-right mo siya to the farthest extent that you can. Okay, isa pang tinuro sa amin is the figure of 8. So first yan is how to turn the bike now pinaka-slowly as possible, because before you get fast, you need to learn how to be slow. So first yun, nakaupo muna, and alam nyo ba, ang trick doon is do not use gas. You have to use just the clutch and the friction zone. And by the way, it's really scary to face that fear kasi when big bike riding, nakakatakot na igaganyan mo yung, like itutodo mo yung manibel to the right or to the left. But with enduro, you have to do it. And after the sweat and also some tears, we had a water break. So, nung nagpapahinga, nagkakausap na kami, oy, we had some basic training na, is it okay to go around the trail? But before that, meron pang isa pang pasabog si coach. Pinapunta pa niya kami sa off-camber. Kasi kailangan naming matutunan how to go straight pag inclined yung dadaanan namin. And you wanna know the trick? The trick is to keep the bike as straight as possible. Kasi ang usual na idea ng mga tao is if incline, you have to also kinda incline yourself. But no, you have to keep the bike as straight as possible and use as minimal gas. Kasi if you're gonna use gas, nag-slide yung back. Nag-slide yung back ng motorcycle. So you have to just be stable and you have to keep your weight in the middle talaga. And you just have to continue getting that straight na balanse sa bike and also doon palabas dun sa off-camber. And this is it, papunta na kami sa loob ng trail. Hindi ko alam what I was going to face. I didn't know kung ano yung makikita ko doon, ano mga challenges, anong obstacles. And I was just pulling every courage that I have to just go. The coach was there naman, so medyo panatag na yung loob ko kasi i-guide niya naman kung paano kami aangat, paano kami bababa. Pero nagulat ako kasi hindi ko in-expect na meron doon ng mataas na ramp, paangat, meron naman yung as in medyo parang pa-straight na siya and you had to take the bike pataas doon. Nagulat nga ako kasi I didn't know na I was capable of it. And then meron din doon yung mga medyo pa ganyan na dadaanan and paganon yung bike. So hindi ko rin in-expect na natapos ko yun, yung paikot na yun sa Vermosa. And the biggest thing na naramdaman ko is lula sa trail. Yun talaga yun. The lula and then the fear before going up there. Kasi I just realized na if the fear was not there, kaya ko yun I'll just go through it kung hindi ako nalulula.
Hindi po ba madalas yan at metal?
By the way, alam niyo ba, nakaangat ako sa ramp na usually beginners don't go through. But I had so much courage nung first time na naangat ko siya hanggang pababa. And then I wanted to do it again. And nandito na yung sakuna. Umakit ako ulit and then I crashed. I crashed because I was fixating on the pole pataas ng rampa. Bumaba ako, nalula ako, I was fixating on it. And then I dropped. I dropped myself off the ramp. And fortunately, wala namang tumama kasi I was able to push myself away from the ramp and the bike was away from me. So tumalon ako dun sa bike. Kung hindi ako nakatalon, I think tatama sa akin yung bike and mas mahirap yun. I was also thankful na I prepared to gear myself up. Na meron akong knee pads, meron akong shoulder pads, and also the helmet, it protected my head. I was also concerned for myself kasi medyo nag-blackout din ako that time. Pero bumalik din kagad yung vision ko. And buti na lang, hindi nila ako pinagalaw agad. Kasi kung gumalaw ako, hindi ko mararamdaman kung ano nga ba yung masakit and I wouldn't be able to assess myself. But syempre, after every sakuna, we have to stand up. So I went through the rest of the track and binrush off ko muna yung takot ko kasi alam ko na the next time na I will go there, I will conquer that ramp and I will reface my fears. Dumiretso pa kami and nakita pa ako ng iba pang mga madadaanan dun sa trail. Natutuwa ako kasi meron pang isa pang pataas and then biglang bababa. Meron din dun yung medyo sketchy yung trail. You have to really be technical about how you're gonna go up, kung anong gear ka aangat. Kasi that's the first thing na you have to prepare for when you're gonna go on trails. You have to know kung paano mo dadaan ng isang bagay. Hindi pwedeng dire-diretso ka lang. And I think this trains some of your problem-solving skills and also your need to be prepared. Kasi usually when we go on our daily commutes, for example, when I use NOAA, I don't think kasi I already know what's gonna happen. But sa trail, you wouldn't even know kung may puno dyan, may steel bars dyan, or may grass, or may tubig. And it actually amazes me because I was able to go through the track of Vermosa. But I do know na hindi pa ako ganun ka-prepared to go on big trails. But this is a start. And yeah, let's train and let's practice more.
Nakatayo ba?
And alam nyo ba na before kami makalabas, naubusan pa ng gas yung motor ko. And buti na lang, andun na kami sa dulo. So, the coach had to push the bike and he gave to me the bike na he was using so I can go back doon kung saan kami kakain! Servants ordered some shakies. So, we had pizza and we also have mojos and chicken. It was yummy kasi I was really hungry. Sabi ko, kailangan ko na ng carbs. After eating, nagpaalam na si Sir Vince and Jonas because they had to go. But I wanted to stay for a little longer because I wanted to practice one more thing. Coach taught me how to stop the bike if it's hanging. So what to do if you're hanging, because that was the thing that I failed at when I was going through the ramp. So when going up sa incline, tas you wanna stop, you just have to, okay, first gear, you go up to the incline, you press the brakes, and then you let go of the clutch as fast as possible, and your feet has to be still. So, nahanging na ako, patay yung makina, patay yung everything. And then the next problem is how you're gonna go down. And the trick there is to use the rear brake, let go of the clutch. Pipitik-pitikin mo lang yung clutch hanggang sa makababa ka. And then pag nakababa ka na, you just need a little bit of effort para mahila ka, paangat ulit. It was a good thing na dedicated akong aralin yun dahil isa yun sa mga importante talaga malaman. But did you know, before I got the hang of the hanging, I dropped myself and the bike almost 3 to 5 times. That's how much it shows na pagod na ako and it's time to go home. So I guess the biggest learning for me was to know when to stop. When to actually just feel na, uy, okay na yun, enough na yung achievement mo. And then, now, it's time to just leave. So we book ourselves a Grab and I changed my clothes para maging casual ulit. Pagdating ng Grab, I just left. So I guess that wraps up my first ever proper enduro training. And I just want to thank Ride Manila for giving me the opportunity to train ng enduro and also for my gears. I'm also grateful to Enduro Factory because gumawa sila ng lugar where people can practice and also learn off-roading. And the coaches are all nice and nakapag-uwi pa ako ng chicken. This is Mike's. Bye!